The night sky over Earth used to be peaceful. Cities glowed with warm lights. Oceans reflected the stars. And people believed the galaxy was full of friends. Humans had joined the Galactic Union only 10 years earlier, and they felt proud. They thought the galaxy welcomed them. They thought unity meant safety. But they were wrong. Far above Earth, hidden inside a dark nebula, an alien battle council gathered. The council chamber floated like a metal heart in the cold void. A dozen powerful alien species sat around a circular table, eyes focused on one hologram, Earth. The Union High Commander, a tall insectoid creature named Vorik, tapped a claw on the table. Earth grows too fast, he said. Their science improves every year. Their population increases. Their ideas spread. Soon they will lead the Union. An old reptile-like counselor hissed in fear. Humans are dangerous. They adapt too quickly. They survived every disaster on their world. They survived wars, plagues, climate change. They survived everything. If they keep rising, they will challenge our power. The council grew silent. Every leader there feared the same thing. Humans might become stronger than them. Vorik finally said the words everyone was thinking. We must act now. We must control them. But another alien corrected him. Not control. Remove. A cold silence spread. And so, the betrayal of Earth began. The next morning, Earth woke to a strange sight. Thousands of bright lines appeared in the sky, like shooting stars moving the wrong way. Children pointed. News channels panicked. The world looked up, confused. Then every line stopped. Then every line turned into a warship. The Galactic Union fleet, once allies, once friends, had arrived. Admiral Sarah Khan of Earth Defense Command stared at her monitors in disbelief. These are Union codes, she whispered. Why are they in attack formation? Her calm officer answered with a trembling voice. They are demanding full surrender of Earth. Sarah shook her head. Surrender? We are part of the Union. This must be a mistake. But it was no mistake. A deep alien voice echoed across every human communication channel. Earth is to be neutralized. Stand down or be destroyed. People across the planet froze. Families clutched each other. Soldiers stared at the sky. Nobody understood why their own allies were turning on them. Admiral Sarah refused to surrender. Earth does not bow, she said. She ordered civilian shelters, emergency shields, and evacuation drills. But Earth was not ready for what came next. The alien fleet opened fire. Blue beams cut through orbital stations like hot knives through paper. Human satellites burned one by one. The first explosion shook the world's atmosphere. Fire lit up the horizon. People screamed as their cities trembled. Buildings collapsed. The sky turned into a battlefield. Earth fought back bravely. Human pilots launched their ships and charged toward the enemy, even though they were outnumbered 100 to 1. The Galactic Union expected humans to break quickly, but they did not. They resisted with everything they had. A young pilot named Daniel Reyes took down 3 alien fighters before his own ship was hit. As he spiraled through the sky, flames all around him, he shouted into the radio, "Don't stop. Fight for Earth. Fight for home." His message became the final call of Earth's defense. But courage was not enough. The Union fleet began a full planetary bombardment. Cities fell one by one. New York, Shanghai, Mumbai, Lagos, millions died within minutes. Ocean bases collapsed. Mountain bunkers melted. The world shook under the weight of betrayal. Inside a secret underground hangar, a group of human scientists activated evacuation ships. These were small, hidden colony vessels originally built for deep space exploration. Now they became humanity's last hope. Dr. Lara Sato, one of Earth's top researchers, looked at the children boarding the ships and felt her heart break. "We should be building a future," she said, "not running from monsters." Captain Rainhale, leader of the evacuation, placed a hand on her shoulder. "We live today so we can return tomorrow." One by one, the colony ships launched through hidden tunnels and disappeared into space, slipping past the enemy blockade. The Galactic Union did not notice. Their attention was on Earth, not on the small shadows escaping into the dark. From the ground, survivors watched the last ships leave. They whispered prayers. They whispered hope. Meanwhile, in orbit, Admiral Sarah's command ship was the last human vessel standing. Smoke filled the bridge. Warning alarms screamed. She looked at Earth, broken, burning, betrayed, and felt her heart crack. A final Union blast struck her ship. Before the explosion took her, Sarah whispered, "Humanity will remember." The Union fleet soon declared victory. Their leader, Vorik, made a cold announcement. Earth has been neutralized. The human species is no more. The galaxy believed him. But far beyond the edge of known space, the surviving colony ships drifted into the unknown. Children sat quietly inside, eyes wide, hearts filled with fear and anger. One child said in a soft voice, "They think we are gone." Another replied, "No, we are hiding. One day we come back." The adults didn't correct them. They knew the truth. Humanity was not dead. Humanity was waiting. And someday, the galaxy would regret what it had done. Space was silent until it wasn't. Hundreds of years after the fall of Earth, a lonely star at the edge of the galaxy suddenly flickered. A strange mechanical heartbeat echoed across empty space. No living creature heard it, except the humans who were not supposed to exist. On a hidden colony ship, drifting through darkness, a young girl named Mira Hale opened her eyes. She felt something calling. Her brother, Aaron, asked softly, "Did you hear that?" She nodded. It sounded like home. But they had no home. Not anymore. Captain Ray Hale, now older, stood at the front observation window. His hair was silver, but his eyes were sharp and full of purpose. He stared at the flickering star. "That signal wasn't natural," he said. "It felt like it wanted us to find it." The surviving humans had been traveling for generations. They searched for a new world, but every planet they found was too cold, too toxic, or too dangerous. Hope was fading. Many thought humanity would die quietly in deep space. But the signal changed everything. Discovery of the megastructure. The fleet followed the strange pulse until they reached the star's orbit. And there, hidden in the star's corona like a giant sleeping serpent, floated something impossible. A megastructure. A ring-shaped machine the size of a moon, dark and silent, as if waiting for someone. The humans stared at it in awe. Nothing in Galactic Union records ever mentioned such a thing. Rayan spoke in a hushed voice. "This is ancient, older than any species we know." Dr. Alara Sato, now gray-haired but still brilliant, scanned the structure. "This technology, it's millions of years ahead of ours. But I'm reading something strange." "What?" Rayan asked. "It's responding to our presence." The ring lit up with lines of soft blue light. Panels rotated. Energy surged. The machine woke up. Not for the Union. Not for the galaxy. Only for the humans. The gate of the ancients. A deep tone vibrated through every human ship. Calm, warm, familiar. Screens came alive with glowing symbols. Dr. Sato's voice shook with disbelief. "It's a translation pattern," she whispered. "The megastructure is speaking to us." Rayan stepped closer. "What does it say?" She read aloud. "You have survived. You are the children of resilience. Enter, learn, become what you were meant to be." The message shocked everyone. Why would an ancient supermachine welcome humans specifically? What did it know about them? Rayan made his choice. We go in. The transformation. The ring opened, creating a burning white corridor of energy. The human colony ships entered cautiously, and then the impossible happened. Inside the ring was not metal. It was a world, a floating artificial ecosystem, forests of crystal trees, rivers of glowing liquid, floating stone platforms that moved when you stepped on them. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Mira and Aaron ran around excitedly. "This place feels alive." Mira said. It did. The walls hummed. Pathways formed under their feet. Lights followed their movement. Every part of the megastructure reacted to human presence. Dr. Sato realized why. This place was built by an ancient species that feared extinction. They designed it for the strongest survivors in the galaxy. And it chose us. Rayan closed his eyes. Then we will grow here. We will become stronger than ever. Centuries in the machine. Time flowed differently inside the megastructure. Outside, only a few years passed. Inside, centuries slipped by. Humans learned to operate the ancient technology. They rebuilt their schools. They trained new soldiers. They created a new society. Disciplined, united, unstoppable. Children grew into warriors with calm minds and brilliant strategy. Scientists unlocked engines fueled by star cores. Engineers constructed ships that could warp without signatures. But the humans did not become cruel. They did not become monsters. Their leaders reminded them every day, we rise not to conquer. We rise so the galaxy can never hurt us again. The megastructure nurtured them like a parent teaching a child to stand. Birth of the human war fleet. 300 years inside the megastructure. 300 years of learning. 300 years of buried rage and silent preparation. One day, the ring's core brightened. A final message appeared. You are ready. The galaxy awaits. Rayan, now old but still strong, stood before humanity's greatest creation. A fleet of dark metal warships. No sharp edges. No unnecessary designs. Only raw, elegant power. Their hulls carried quiet names. Justice. Memory. Wrath of Earth. Promise of return. These ships were not built for revenge. They were built for balance. Mira and Aaron, now adults and commanders, looked at the fleet with fire in their eyes. Aaron whispered, "They think we died." Mira replied, "They will learn the truth." The first flight. The gigantic hangar doors of the megastructure opened. Space roared in. The human war fleet rose slowly, engines glowing like newborn stars. Rayan gave one final order. Set course for known space. Let the galaxy see what humanity has become. As the fleet jumped into hyperspace, the megastructure slowly dimmed. Its purpose was complete. The torch had been passed. Humanity was no longer hiding. Humanity was returning. Space was quiet, but scanners were screaming. Captain Jarrell of the Varkon patrol fleet sat frozen, staring at the impossible reading on his ship's display. The numbers were wrong. So wrong that even the machine hesitated, as if reality didn't want to accept them. His first officer blinked hard. "Captain, the mass signature. It's too large for a single ship." Jarrell swallowed. "What is it then?" The officer whispered, terrified. "A ghost." Far ahead, in the cold emptiness of Sector 19, a shape drifted silently. No engine flare. No broadcast. No ID tag. Just a dark silhouette moving with unnatural calm. Alien ships normally glowed with energy signatures. They hummed loudly. They left trails of warp residue. But the shape, it left nothing. It glided like a shadow pretending to be metal. The patrol fleet approached carefully. Jor-El zoomed the camera, and his heart stopped. The ship had no visible weapon ports, no glowing engines, no signs of life. Only one thing stood out on its hull, a white, simple symbol. A circle around a tiny blue dot. Earth. Jor-El's voice cracked. That can't be real. Humans were extinct. Gone. Erased from history. Yet a ship with Earth symbol floated right in front of them. The human presence. Jor-El opened a communication channel. "This is Captain Jor-El of the Varkon Union Patrol. Identify yourself." Silence. He tried again. "Unknown vessel, respond." Nothing. The alien officers grew more nervous. "It's ignoring us," one said. "Should we scan deeper?" Another asked. "Maybe it's a trap," a third whispered. The ship remained still, watching them without eyes, without signals, without fear. Jor-El felt sweat gather on his forehead. "Send a drone." A small probe flew out, approaching the silent ship. As the drone crossed within 500 meters, something terrifying happened. The human ship rotated smoothly, perfectly smooth, like a single thought moved 1,000 tons of metal. One movement, one moment, and the drone disintegrated. No weapons fired, no beam, no explosion. It simply ceased to exist, as if the universe deleted it. The alien crew jumped from their seats. "Captain, It destroyed the drone. But how? There was no energy spike. Jor-El felt his throat tighten. That was not an attack. That was a demonstration. The human message. Suddenly the patrol bridge lights flickered. Their screens turned black. Lines of strange symbols appeared. Then a deep, calm human voice echoed through every alien ship. Galactic Union Patrol. We do not seek war, but we will answer for the crimes committed against Earth. The aliens froze. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't angry. It was cold, controlled, mature. That was what made it terrifying. The voice continued. Surrender your officers involved in the attack on Earth. You have 1 minute. The patrol crew stared at Jor-El in confusion and fear. Captain, we were not alive when Earth fell. This is madness. We have no connection to that attack. Jor-El knew that, but he also knew humans didn't make mistakes now. Before he could respond, the human ship moved again. Its hull shifted like living metal, panels sliding silently. A circular mark on the front glowed faintly. The officer monitoring sensors whispered, Captain, it's charging something, but I don't know what. Jor-El raised his hands. Unknown human vessel. This patrol is innocent. His words were cut by the human voice. We know. This is a warning, not a punishment. The ship fired. A faint blue wave passed through every alien vessel like a soft breeze. No explosions. No damage. Just silence. Then the officer screamed, Captain, our weapons, offline. Our engines, offline, were completely disabled. The human ship had shut them down without harming anyone. Jor-El felt a strange, heavy respect. They spared us, he murmured. They don't want blood. They want justice. Panic across the galaxy. Within hours, the incident spread everywhere. A ship from a dead species had returned. It was powerful. It was silent. It wanted the truth. Alien governments panicked. Old military commanders went into hiding. Some tried to erase records. Some fled across borders. But it was too late, because the humans had returned, not as broken survivors, but as something evolved. Inside the human ship, on board the mysterious vessel, Commander Mira Hale watched the alien patrol drifting helplessly. Aaron Hale stood beside her. Aaron smirked. They'll send this message to the entire Union within minutes. Mira nodded. They need to fear us. But they must also understand we do not kill without reason. Ray and Hale entered the bridge, older but unshaken. This was our first contact in centuries, he said. How did they respond? Mira answered, with fear. Ray closed his eyes. Good. Let fear speak the truth louder than their lies. He pointed forward. Prepare the fleet. The Union must learn that humanity survived. And we're coming for answers. The signal that shook the stars. The human ship broadcast a final message across every open channel in known space. We are the children of Earth. We have returned. And we remember. Millions of aliens across hundreds of worlds froze in terror. Because every species knew one thing. When humans remember, the galaxy trembles. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Union Hall was silent. Not calm, silent with fear. The enormous chamber, built from crystal walls and floating light pillars, usually echoed with arguments, speeches, and political noise. But now, every representative, every commander, every counselor sat frozen in their seats, staring at a single hologram floating above the center table. A symbol, a white circle around a blue dot, the symbol of a world they thought they had killed. Earth. The holo screen kept playing the intercepted message over and over. We are the children of Earth. We have returned. And we remember. Each replay felt heavier, darker, more dangerous. High Chancellor Vorik, the same alien who once ordered Earth destruction, felt cold sweat drip down his scales. Even the room temperature seemed to drop. He tightened his claws around the table's edge, forcing himself to speak. This cannot be, he said. Humans were eliminated. Their planet burned. Their fleets destroyed. But the evidence floating in the air told a different story. A human ship, sleek, dark, silent, had disabled a full patrol without firing a weapon. Counselor Sitha, a four-eyed amphibian, whispered, "Their technology, it looked like magic." Another counselor added, "No, worse. It looked advanced enough to ignore physics." Representatives trembled in their seats. The Union had faced dangerous species before, but humans were something different. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were fast learners. Humans were impossible to fully control. And worst of all, humans held grudges. The secret room, beneath the grand chamber, far below the public halls, a hidden meeting took place. Only 12 individuals sat around a circular dark glass table. These were not elected leaders. They were the ones who planned Earth's destruction decades ago. They were the ones who feared human potential the most. The real architects of betrayal. Their leader, a tall skeletal creature named Kaler, tapped the table sharply. "Listen well," he said, voice trembling with controlled panic. "The humans have returned. Their technology is beyond anything our sensors can explain." One of the advisors shook violently. "We should confess everything. Make peace. Ask for forgiveness." Kaler slammed a metal device onto the table. A hologram of the human ship appeared. This ship disabled an entire patrol fleet with a single pulse. If they wanted war, those aliens would be dead. But humans didn't kill them. He leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "That makes them more dangerous." The others swallowed. Silence filled the dark room. Kaler spoke again. "If humanity learns the truth, the galaxy will want our heads. We must hide all records connecting us to the Earth attack." "But humans said they want justice," someone whispered. "Yes," Kaler replied, "and that is exactly what we cannot allow. Panic in the outer worlds." Across the galaxy, panic grew like a spreading fire. On distant mining planets, workers dropped their tools when they saw the human message broadcast on public screens. One miner whispered, "I heard humans could beat death itself." Another replied, "I heard their warriors fight like storms." A third added, "I heard they never forgive." Fear twisted into myth. Myth twisted into dread. Merchants closed shops. Families packed spacecrafts. Old soldiers stared into the sky, remembering human bravery, and knowing the Union had made a mistake. Some planets began asking a dangerous question. Were humans actually the victims? For a government built on lies, this question was a knife, the military's last hope. In the Union military headquarters, generals gathered in a defensive war room. Maps, star charts, and response plans filled the massive situation table. But all their weapons, all their fleets, all their strategies felt useless. General Krasik rubbed his forehead. "We have dreadnoughts, yes, but humans may have something beyond dreadnoughts. We don't even know how many ships they possess." A young officer entered the room, voice shaking. "Sirs, we analyzed the waveform the human ship used to disable patrol fleet." "And?" General Krasik asked. The officer hesitated. "It was a form of energy we do not understand." Someone muttered, "Impossible." Someone else said, "This is the end." General Krasik slammed his fist on the table. "Enough! Humans are not gods. They bled once, they can bleed again." But his words sounded hollow, even to himself. The broadcast had changed everything. Back in the Union Hall, a new message suddenly appeared on the central holoscreen. A human voice. Calm, clear, merciful, but threatening. "We seek the leaders who ordered Earth's fall. Not your civilians. Not your soldiers. Only the guilty." Gasps echoed around the chamber. The humans knew. They knew the truth. Vorik's heart pounded. If the galaxy learned what he and his secret council had done, every species would revolt. Every world would demand justice. The Union would collapse overnight. He stood suddenly. "We must prepare a countermessage. Tell the galaxy human claims are false." But Counselor Sitha shook her head. "No one will believe us now." They saw the power of that human ship. They saw the symbol of Earth on the hull. Fear broke through the council. "For the first time," Sitha whispered, "the galaxy does not trust us. They trust the humans." The Union's last decision. Finally, the High Chancellor forced himself to speak. We have only one choice, Vorik said. Destroy the human fleet before it reaches Union space. The entire hall fell silent. Someone whispered, "But what if we can't?" Vorik looked around slowly, eyes full of dread. Then, he said softly, "The galaxy burns." The first sign wasn't a ship. It wasn't a signal. It wasn't even light. It was silence. Inside the Galactic Union defense grid, a network of 1,000 listening posts spread across 6 star systems. Alarms suddenly died. Screens went dark. Communication beams froze. Satellites stopped spinning. The entire Union border went blind. Engineers panicked. Technicians slapped consoles. Generals shouted orders. But nothing worked. It was as if someone had pressed a hand around the throat of the entire border and squeezed. High in the command tower of Sector Line Delta, an insectoid officer stared in horror at his sensor display. "Sir," he whispered, "something very large is entering our space." General Krasik turned sharply. "How large?" The officer swallowed hard. The entire system, is casting a shadow. A shadow so big, so wide, so unnatural, that even the star light dimmed. The humans had arrived. The human fleet appears. Space tore open with a slow, heavy ripple. Not like normal warp travel. This was deeper, older, controlled with perfect precision. Black metal ships emerged one by one, forming a silent wall of firepower. Their hulls glowed faintly with blue lines, like veins carrying power older than the Union itself. They had no banners, no signals, no warnings. Only one message blinked on every Union display. "Stand down. Do not resist. We do not kill the innocent." Officers looked at each other, confused. Since when did fleets give mercy warnings? General Krasik shouted, "Lock weapons. Fire everything." But the weapons refused. Every turret, every missile bay, every shield generator. All jammed. All offline. The human fleet had disabled the entire defense grid without touching a single ship. This was not war. This was demonstration. Human tactics. Precision without mercy. Commander Mira Hale stood on the bridge of Justice-class warship, Earth's Wrath. Her eyes were cold, but not cruel. "Begin Phase 1, she said. Human ships spread out, forming a perfect hexagonal pattern, each ship linking to the next through invisible quantum threads. Aaron Hale checked coordinates. Targets confirmed. Military command nodes, weapon factories, fleet docks. Ray and Hale stepped forward. "No civilian cities?" Mira shook her head. "Never." With a single gesture, she gave the order. Human ships fired. Not explosives. Not plasma beams. Not energy blasts. They fired threads of silent light, slicing through space like scalpel lines. Every thread hit exactly one target. A military depot exploded in a fireball. A war factory melted into glowing slag. A fleet station shattered into dust. Every strike was clean. Every hit was surgical. Union commanders watched in disbelief. "These humans, they're not destroying worlds," one whispered. "They're removing only military sites." General Krasik slammed his hands on the console. "They are crippling us without killing civilians. Those monsters learn control." He never noticed the irony. The people rise. Across the Union, civilians watch the destruction of military strongholds on public screens. Instead of panic, something unexpected happened. They cheered. A reptilian mother gently held her child, whispering, "The humans, they are not here to kill us." A group of miners shouted, "Down with the corrupt council. They lied about Earth." Whole planets began protesting. Crowds demanded the truth. Old soldiers marched with banners. "Justice for Earth. Reveal the betrayal. We stand with humanity." The Union's own people started turning against them. Humanity wasn't just winning the war. Humanity was winning the galaxy's heart. The Union's superweapon. Deep inside a hidden space facility, High Chancellor Vork activated the Union's last hope, a superweapon known only as Project Oblivion, a massive cannon charge, pulling energy from an artificial black hole. It will erase their fleet, Vorik said, trembling with desperation. Even humans cannot survive this. The cannon fired. A beam brighter than a star streaked through space, heading directly toward a human fleet. Mira saw the energy spike and whispered, "Brace." The beam struck Earth's wrath, and then it just vanished, not deflected, not blocked, not absorbed. It vanished like water hitting sand. The bridge crew stared. Aaron checked the readings twice. No damage, no breach, no impact at all. Rayan smiled softly. Ancient technology is not impressed. Human mercy or warning. Mira activated the fleet-wide comm channel. Disable their weapon. Do not destroy the station. A single human ship flew toward the superweapon, silent, dark, unstoppable. It hovered over the cannon. A burst of white light flashed. The entire station shut down. Engines dead. Weapons dead. No casualties. Vorik fell to his knees. "They're gods," he whispered. But Myra's message echoed through the entire Union. "We are not gods. We are humans, and we have returned for justice." A galaxy changes. With their fleets disabled, their people revolting, their lives collapsing. The Union finally understood. This wasn't attack. This wasn't revenge. This was judgment. Human judgment. And the galaxy had no choice but to face it. The galaxy had never seen a day like this. A giant, floating station, built by humans using ancient technology, hung in the center of neutral space. It wasn't a warship. It wasn't a fortress. It was something far more dangerous. A courtroom. Massive glowing rings formed the building, each turning slowly like gears of justice. Light beams acted like pillars, shifting softly with every heartbeat of the structure. Tens of thousands of ships from every species surrounded it, watching, waiting. Inside the hall, millions more watched through hologram feeds. Every world, every moon, every colony, all waiting for one thing: the truth about Earth. A deep voice echoed across the chamber. "Bring the accused." The betrayers enter. 12 figures were brought into the center, chained by glowing restraints. These weren't simple criminals. They were the architects of Earth's destruction, the secret council that hid in shadows, the ones who started the betrayal. High Chancellor Vorik walked with shaking legs. His authority was gone. His power was gone. His name was now poison. Crowds hissed at him from behind the energy barriers. They killed children. They burned Earth. They lied to us for centuries. The former leaders looked around, terrified. They expected a human crowd. They expected hate. But what they saw made them tremble even more. The hall was filled with aliens, cheering for humanity, the human entrance. A soft hum filled the room. 3 humans appeared at the top of the grand staircase. Commander Mirahale, Commander Aaronhale, Admiral Rainhale. They wore no armor, no weapons, just dark, simple uniforms with one symbol on the chest, a blue inside a white circle. Earth. The crowd grew quiet. Mira stepped forward, her voice echoing like a calm storm. Today, the galaxy hears the truth. No lies, no excuses, no silencing. Today, Earth speaks. A thunderous cheer shook the station. The evidence begins. Ray and Hale raised a hand. The hall dimmed. A massive hologram appeared above the accused. What showed next made millions gasp. Actual footage of the day Earth was attacked. The Union fleet entering the solar system. Bombardment from orbit. Cities burning. Families running. Children screaming. Human soldiers fighting hopelessly. The betrayal. The lies. Many alien representatives began to cry. Some covered their faces. Some whispered apologies to the screen. Vorik screamed desperately. "Those recordings are fake. Humans made them." Rayan spoke quietly. "These videos were saved by our satellites. You did not destroy everything." Then Mira activated the next file. The secret council meeting, the one that planned Earth's destruction. The room erupted into panic. The galaxy heard the truth straight from the betrayers' own mouths. Humans grow too fast. They will surpass us. Destroy Earth before they challenge our power. Silence hit the hall like a meteor. The entire galaxy now understood. Humans were never the danger. Human potential was a danger to the corrupt. The galaxy reacts. Dozens of alien ambassadors stood up in disbelief. A reptilian elder shouted, "Earth was not a threat. You were." A winged representative cried, "You slaughtered an entire species because you feared competition." Crowds roared in outrage. Some tried to break through the barriers. Others demanded immediate execution. But Mira raised her hand, and the hall instantly quieted. "We are not here to kill," she said. "We are here to judge." Her calmness terrified the betrayers more than any weapon. The accused break. One of the conspirators, Counselor Etris, fell to his knees. I confess. It was all Vork's command. We only followed orders." Another shouted, "He forced us. He threatened our families." Vork screamed, "Lies! Lies!" Aaron Hale stepped forward slowly. The galaxy saw the recordings. "You cannot run from your own voices." The crowd chanted, "Justice! Justice! Justice!" The verdict, after hours of evidence, testimonies, confessions, and recordings, Ray and Hale announced, "The accused stand guilty of murdering billions, destroying a peaceful world, hiding the truth from the galaxy, creating fear, lies, and war." The hall trembled, as if the station itself felt the weight of the words. Vork tried to speak one last time. "You humans, you monsters, you will conquer the galaxy next." Mira walked toward him slowly, eyes calm, almost sad. "No," she said. "We are not here to conquer. We are here because you made us survivors." Then she added, "You fear humans would rule the galaxy, but today the galaxy sees something else." She pointed toward the crowd, millions of aliens watching in hope. "They see we want justice, not power." The hall roared. Aaron delivered the final line. "The era of lies ends today. The age of truth begins. Judgment without blood. Unlike the Union's cruelty, humanity showed something unexpected. No executions. No torture. No revenge. The betrayers were sentenced to a lifetime inside a sealed memory vault. A prison where their minds would relive the destruction they caused. Over and over. Justice, not slaughter. The galaxy watched in awe. A new alliance begins. As the accused were taken away, ambassadors from dozens of species approached the human delegation. For Earth. For justice. For peace. Even species that once feared humanity now bowed respectfully. Rayan whispered to Mira and Aaron, "This is the moment the galaxy changes." Mira looked up at the glowing ceiling and said softly, "No, this is the moment Earth returns." Long after the trial ended, long after the guilty were taken away, long after the galaxy finally learned the truth, a strange quiet settled. Not the silence of fear, not the silence of death, but the silence of a wound finally beginning to heal. A newborn silence. At the edge of the galaxy, under the light of a young blue star, the human fleet floated like a constellation of black diamonds. Their engines glowed softly, peaceful, not threatening. For the first time in centuries, humanity didn't look like survivors. They looked like guardians. A broken galaxy asking for help. On a dusty moon called Verna 5, a small alien child sat alone, clutching a broken communication device. His village had been ravaged by a failing Union system. Lack of food, lack of medicine, lack of peace. He whispered into the device, "Is anyone out there? Please help." He didn't expect an answer, but space shimmered above the moon. A human medical shuttle landed gently. Doctors stepped out wearing soft white suits. The child's eyes widened. You came?" One doctor kneeled and smiled kindly. Humans keep their promises. For decades, the Union ignored poor worlds. Humans did not. Word spread quickly. The humans are healing broken planets. Not conquering them. Not controlling them. Healing. World by world. The galaxy slowly woke from its suffering. The Accord of Free Species. Inside the newly built Council of Worlds, a massive station crafted partly by humans, partly by alien engineers, Hundreds of representatives gathered around a glowing circular table. The chamber was symbolic, round, equal, no throne, no superior leader. Admiral Ray Hale stood at the center. "We do not create an empire," he said. "We create an accord." Aliens leaned forward, listening carefully. Rayan continued, "No species will rule another. No world will be forced to follow orders. No power will control the galaxy. The Accord protects the weak, limits the strong, and binds every world in fairness." A feathered ambassador raised a wing. "Who leads this Accord?" Rayan shook his head. "No one. Everyone." Mira stepped beside him. "Humans will stand only as guardians. Nothing more." A reptilian elder spoke softly. "You are the ones harmed most. Yet you asked for the least. Why?" Mira stared at the dark stars outside the window. "Because we know what it feels like to be abandoned." The Accord passed unanimously. For the first time ever, the galaxy had a system built not on fear, but on trust. Rebuilding Earth. Far away, the ruined remains of Earth floated silently. Scars still visible, continents cracked, oceans poisoned, atmosphere thin. But humans were not afraid. Massive terraforming ships entered orbit. Giant drones descended. Soil machines cleaned radiation. Oxygen towers rebuilt the air. Aaron Hale stood on what was once North America, feeling the wind slowly grow stronger each week. Mira joined him. "How long until Earth breathes again?" she asked. Aaron smiled. "Another 20 years, maybe less. But she's healing." Mira touched the soil, dark, dead, but warming. "She waited for us." Aaron nodded, and we came back. Behind them, alien volunteers from dozens of species worked side by side with humans. Earth wasn't just a human project anymore. It had become a galactic promise. A new era for humanity. Inside the rebuilt human council chambers, Rayan addressed all human citizens. "For centuries we wandered. For centuries we learned to survive. But from today onward, we learn to live." Children played in clean, glowing parks. Farmers grew crops and restored valleys. Scientists built schools that welcomed students from other species. Humanity wasn't rebuilding alone. They were becoming leaders of peace, not war. A moment that defines the future. In a peaceful alien village on the planet Theora, a crowd gathered around a massive public holoscreen. A small human shuttle descended from the sky. A young human officer stepped out, holding a new Accord flag. Blue, bright, hopeful. A Theoran child tugged at his mother's hand. "Are those the humans?" he asked. She nodded softly. "Yes." The child's eyes sparkled. "They are the ones who stopped the Union? The ones who saved the galaxy? The ones who fixed our home?" His mother whispered, "They burn nothing except lies." The child looked up at the sky. "I want to grow up like them." And that moment, that single sentence from a child of another world, became the official motto of the next generation. Be like the humans. The final scene, a reborn dawn. Years later, Earth's skies turned blue again for the first time. Clouds floated naturally. Rivers shimmered. Birds returned. Life returned. Mira, Aaron, and Rand stood on a green hill where an old, shattered city once lay. The sunrise stretched across the horizon, golden and warm. Mira whispered, "We rebuilt Earth." Aaron replied, "No, we rebuilt the galaxy." Rayan placed a hand on both their shoulders. Justice brought us back. Unity made us strong. Mercy made us leaders. As the sun rose higher, thousands of ships, human and alien, flew together across the sky in harmony. The galaxy was no longer afraid of humans. The galaxy was grateful. For the first time in history, peace didn't feel impossible. It felt inevitable. Humanity had returned, and the galaxy would never fall into darkness again.